Hello, ladies and gentlemen. And today we'll have, well, this is the last video of the day, but we have some interesting news. It seems that the She-Hulk seems to be a problem. Not doing so hot, which is to be expected considering what they've done, but I digress. So, She-Hulk seems to be not doing super great, and all that, and it seems like She-Hulk Attorney at Law premiere ratings to fail to break into Nielsen top 10, another failure for Victoria Alonso's business strategy. Data tracking company Nielsen released their viewership data for the week of August 15th to August 21st, and Marvel Studios' She-Hulk Attorney at Law series is not on any of the top 10 lists. She-Hulk premiered on August 18th on Disney Plus and was beat by the Sandman, Stranger Things, Never Have I Ever, Lock and Key, blah 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 blah. You get what I'm talking about. Pretty much beat by a whole slew of actual shows that are, there. As noted below, She-Hulk's viewership was below 309 million minutes, which was 10th place Instant Dream Home's viewership 10 minutes. So as you can see here, it's just not that great. I can't even see it that much, guys, so I'm probably gonna do this whole view thing. Hold on here. Can I view this without much difficulty? Oh, there we go. Yes, it does. So as you guys can see here, I'll shrink this a bit because it is kind of too big. There you guys see. You guys got to see my ugly mug constantly. All right, so there you have it. You'll see that this has so-called million views here. The Sandman 946. All this great stuff. So we're seeing here that it's not the greatest end that we can see in minutes. Yeah, she's not even in the. She's not even in the top 10, and she's been dropped by significantly a great margin. So that being said, she's really not doing good. And the show is not really doing good. It's unclear if She-Hulk Attorney at Law is the worst performing Marvel Studios television series on Disney Plus, given Ms. Marvel's first episode made the charts back on the week ending June 12th with 259 million views. Well, the thing is that it's not going to do well, specifically because a lot of these shows are woke and garbage, so it's just not going to perform. I mean, the reason why one of my relatives, brothers, or what have you, were saying like, "Oh well, Eric D. doesn't know what he's talking about. It's not as bad. It is as bad as it seems. He's just not in the know-how. If he actually realized actually look at the stuff that's been going on, all of it has been terrible. There have been race swapping, gender swapping. They have been putting all this woke stuff into movies, and this is the reason why it's there. But of course, he will also be the type of people that would just watch something and turn his brain off without actually realizing and thinking like Star Wars is great. Again, the reason why with the whole movie of Star Wars, where that was heavily criticized. So again, the movie did well because of the fan base and sheep and people like him just want to watch it, right? But again, it doesn't mean the movie is not bad. The movie intentionally is honestly bad. It's not good. So, and it will go on to say, regardless of the show not making the charts, it is the first Marvel Studios show not to make Nielsen's top 10 original chart. As noted above, Ms. Marvel placed 10th when it debuted with 259 million minutes. Moon Knight, which debuted on March 30th, was 6th on the Nielsen chart at the time with 418 million minutes viewed. So you can see, it tells you exactly how many minutes viewed, etc., etc. What is interesting about the Nielsen data is it calls into question and other data analytics. I can't pronounce the English. Oh my god. Analytics. Thank you. My god, I don't know what's wrong with my brain. Jesus. Companies purporting to claim that the She-Hulk did on par in its first 4 days, streaming compared to other Marvel Studios shows like WandaVision, Loki, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Hawkeye. Soundbite TV reported She-Hulk was watched by 1.5 million U.S. households, streaming in its first 4 days on Disney Plus. I would also say that obviously movies or shows like this are quite honestly going to perform well probably the first few episodes, give or take. And that's just the reality of it. I mean, a lot of these shows will perform well because people want to see and actually know how terrible it is People will do reviews to actually do a proper review. People will look at it to see if it was really as bad as people say. So obviously, the first few episodes or so will be good, right? Although you'll have a decent viewership. It's after that though, where you'll see that it will do terrible. It's like some of the anime, well, people will not watch specifically just because of the fact that will not watch specifically because of the fact that you have to. It takes a few episodes to really get in and start understanding the anime. Some anime are just so bad that people will stop watching it like the very first episode, which is not usually the case. But people will have to watch an anime or something to see if it's really good, if it's horrendously bad, and that's usually the same with a lot of stuff. The first viewing will always be high. It will always have an X amount of viewers because of its first showing. I mean, you kind of expect that, right? And all that. But afterwards is where my personal opinion is where I think you have to focus onto what happens afterwards, because it's afterwards and the reviews to where your show really starts to be an issue. And once that drops, it's over. Your show is no longer good. So obviously you're going to have some drop off. Obviously, even afterwards, anyways, you're going to have some kind of drop off, even if it is good. You have a few drop off there, but it matters if it's a significant drop off, and this is a massive drop off. It's not good. This is compared to WandaVision, which they claim was watched by 1.6 million households 5 days after it premiered on Disney Plus. It doesn't match up to the fact that She-Hulk's viewership did not even hit 395 million minutes viewed, as reported by Nielsen, while WandaVision did 404 million minutes. Not only does the Nielsen data call into question Sam's TV reporting, but it also calls into question Marvel Studios' business model. Marvel Studios executive Victoria Alonso detailed that business model during an appearance at an Annecy International Animation Film Festival back in June 2011. While answering a question if she ever gets tired of Marvel Studios movies topping the box office charts, Alonso said the reason we have that success consistently is because our audience is global. You cannot have a global audience and not somehow start to represent it. For us, it was really, really, really important to have that. She continued, for the longest of time, we heard a woman-led film will never open. I say, please check Captain Marvel made a lot of money. Then they always told us that Black Panther was never going to open, and that nobody wanted a black cast, and that made through 1.3 billion. So you can look at it from the social point of view, the cultural point of view, but truthfully, this is a business from a fiscal point of view. You are leaving money on the table by not representing, she said. She then provided some numbers about Marvel's audience. I think 51% of our audience is female, 20% of our audience is Hispanic. If we don't represent the people that watch what we make, eventually they'll go elsewhere because nobody else will figure it out. Well, they will, because they'll watch it if it's good. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter about representation. Also conclude, we can only tell stories if we succeed and actually have money to make them. So the idea being, if it makes money, why not make it? To me, it seems like a very simple question, but it took a lot of time of a lot of it talking. The problem is with this is that it actively, if you want to have an audience and cater to people, I agree in the sense that you do want to probably push out more of your audience. You want to get more of a representation of actual characters. However, in order to do that, you need to make a new series, a new show with really good writing, with really good characters, in order to have that representation make sense. Or maybe even go into their culture a bit and have that type of stuff if you want to cater to that group of people. Like, it matters on how well you do it. And if the culture, if you do it with the culture, with the new character and stuff like that, you have to make it sense to the actual culture. You have to make sense to where it makes sense that this actually does representation. If you lie about the culture, if you lie about what's going on or whatever, then yeah, you're going to piss off those viewers. So you have to write things correctly. It's like, if I start writing about, specifically for a Hispanic culture, I have to do research on the Hispanic culture and on how well and what everything it is about it to write something decent or good, so I can favorably represent them and not go horribly off the cuff of it. You can make a story whatever you want, right? And if it's going to be out of a culture or whatever, you have to make it at least make sense to it in a degree. So you do need to cater to more audiences or make it more broad. I agree. But at the end of the day, it has to be well written. It has to make sense. Otherwise, people will have backlash and they will not like it. And that's your fan base. And that's what you have to listen to. If you don't listen to them, you're not going to have anything good. And they keep on producing garbage. This is the reason why people don't watch it. And they see the bullshit that you're showing to them, and nobody's going to end up watching it. And of course, we have here where She-Hulk is an average. Obviously, the critics have 87%, but by the average audience score is only 39%. So it's not doing well at all, and people are not liking it. This is what the people need to realize, that this stuff is garbage, and people are probably not going to even like this stuff in the first place if you keep on doing it. We're giving you an actual way out of how to correct and write things, and you still won't listen to us. So at this point, it's on you. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Have a great day.